Beautiful, beautiful celebration. We're celebrating 50 years. 50 years since Dr. Martin Luther King marched on these streets for this right here, for brothers and sisters of different nationalities, religions, colors, equal celebrating freedom, right? Let me hear you say freedom! 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 And 50 years ago in 1966, they marched these streets so that we can march these streets today, together, holding hands, one by one, side by side, and the journey continues today. How many know that they fought, they died, they took hits to the head for our liberties to be here today, and today we celebrate every single sacrifice that they made on our behalf. Isn't that right? Yeah. Let me hear you. Are you excited? Yeah. Grateful for their sacrifices for you for today? I can't hear you. I need some energy. All right. Thank you all for coming. The journey still continues. My name is Nicole Jordan. I am from United Congress of Community and Religious Organizations, United Congress, UCRO, however you want to call it, and we're excited to be here on today.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo estamos?
¿Cómo estamos?
Muy bien. Bienvenidos a todos. Mi nombre es Aleli. Yo estoy aquí con mi compañera Nicole de la organización UCRO, Organizaciones Unidas de Color y también de Religión. Estamos aquí para darles la bienvenida, para empezar este programa de un día tan hermoso, tan excitante, celebrando 50 años desde que el reverendo Martin Luther King marchó por estas calles luchando por la libertad, ¿verdad? Y seguimos en esta lucha, seguimos en la celebración, porque todavía nos falta mucho, como vemos en lo que está pasando diario, ¿verdad? Pero estamos aquí para celebrar y para estar juntos y celebrar la diversidad y el color, los diferentes colores y las diferentes fes que vemos aquí juntos. Bienvenidos.
All right, how many ready to get this started? I'm going to bring to you the one, the only, the great Rami Nashashibi.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you. Give it up for our beloved sister Alalia Nicole from the United Congress that can also help us today. To each and every one of you who came out, the journey, say it, the journey to justice continues. The journey to justice continues. It continues for our brothers and sisters who are locked up in this criminal justice system. It continues for those who continue to be detained and deported unjustly. It continues for those brothers and sisters growing up in neighborhoods that are under-resourced, that have been disinvested, that are over-criminalized. It continues for refugees. It continues for all our brothers and sisters fighting for freedom today. The journey to justice continues. And we will continue and we will celebrate the sacrifice and the struggle of those who have gone before us. We will celebrate the struggle and sacrifice of those who are on the streets today. We will celebrate and commemorate all of those who continue that journey. And we will not be blinded by anyone who tries to pit us together against one another. We will not be swayed by any rhetoric that tries to get to hate ourselves or hate one another. We understand the beauty in our community. We understand that this is a community not of violent people. We will not believe the hype. We won't buy into the hype. We are not violent people. We hate violence. We want peace on our streets. As we walk today and as we listen to the speakers today, in our tradition, we have a very beautiful reflection. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرُكُمْ. Remember the Most High, and God will remember you. So we want to be in a state of remembrance of the Most High. Because when we remember something greater than ourselves, we remember that we have a purpose that is greater than any one of our purposes. We have something that unites us. We have something that can fight all of those things that attempt to divide us. And we as Rabbi Heschel said so long ago, today we will be in a state of prayer. We will be praying with our feet, right, Father Mike? We will be praying with our feet as we walk over to the park and retrace parts of the historic march they took 50 years ago. But first, we want to invite a couple of people to begin in the best of beginnings. We'll hear some voices at the rally when we get to the park. But we want to start with the best of beginnings with some voices and reflections and prayer. A local father, a man who has led a congregation that has been on these streets, working with us, is Father Tony Pizzo here. So we ask Father Tony Pizzo, and also if I could ask Aisha Butler to come on stage. And okay, Father Tony's not here, so we will improvise with the one and only Father Mike Flager, since he is here with us. You'll hear from Father Mike here in a moment, but we'd like to ask our beloved Father Michael Flager to open us up in a reflection as we wait for Father Tony, and we will hear from some of the original marchers. Today, before we hear from Father Mike, some of the people wearing shirts are wearing these 1,000-mile shirts, and you'll see some who are wearing a gold 1,000 miles march. You all know that gold is a commemoration for how many years? 50 years. We have some legacy marchers that are marching with us today that marched 50 years ago. Make some noise for the legacy marchers. I see Father Tony also in the distance. If we can get Father Tony to the microphone as well. Father Tony and the congregation of St. Rita is here with us. 50 years ago they marched with us. 50 years ago they dodged rocks, they dodged bullets, they dodged epithets. I talked to some folks back in the day. They even dodged bags of plastic bags of feces and things that were thrown at them. That was the utter contempt and hostility and hatred they confronted. But the marchers, as Reverend Jesse Jackson reminded us yesterday, did never bow to hate. They always fought in the spirit of love, mercy, and compassion, knowing that justice is a tough road, but a road that we will take together. So we're going to open up as we bring Father Tony to the stage. He'll close us out. But Father Mike, if I can still ask you to open up briefly with us. Father Michael Flager, my friend.
Put your hands together for Robbie. Put your hands together for Robbie. Let me just say this quickly. 50 years ago, the place where we're going changed my life. I had just come out of junior year of high school. Myself and two of my friends rode our bikes over here to see what was going on with this Dr. Martin Luther King. Two things I'll never forget from that day. The first was when we rode our bikes into the park, we passed on 71st Street, the Nazi headquarters at 71st and Rockwell that I had never seen before. Then we got into the park and saw hate and violence and people throwing rocks and people throwing stones and yelling all sorts of racial slurs. And I saw people there that lived in my neighborhood. A father of one of my friends, people that went to my church, and saw all this violence and hate. But then I saw Dr. Martin Luther King, and I saw him walking and not responding to any of the hate and any of the violence. And I realized then and all my life since that we never have to submit and surrender to violence. We can always stand up in love. Love is stronger than hate. Peace is stronger than violence. And justice will always win over injustice. And that's why we're here today. Because guess what? As a stone hit Dr. King in the head then, stones are still being thrown. Stones of division and hate and violence and separation from one another. But guess what? Look at this crowd. The stones can't stop this. The injustice can't stop this. We're here to continue the march today. We have in our city today segregation and violence and brothers being shot down on the street, but we can stop it. Today we got to join the march again and say Dr. King will pick up where you left off. Thank you.
All right, I'm also chair, okay? So you gotta say this with me. 1 second. La jornada.
La jornada.
Para la justicia.
Para la justicia.
Continúa.
Continúa.
La jornada.
La jornada.
Para la justicia.
Para la justicia.
Continúa.
Continúa.
Thank you very much. We'd like to welcome Aisha Butler from the Residents Association of Greater Englewood to address us.
Thank you. So the Resident Association stands for RAGE. So who all has RAGE? Yeah. We have RAGE for justice. We are here. Englewood is in the building. I thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of this historic movement. This is so special for me because my grandmother was an activist. She worked with Operation Breadbasket. She is not here today, but I know she is shining down on me and our spirit and seeing the unity of our community here. We've always wanted to change the negative things that they say about Englewood, the South Side, about Chicago, and this is a reflection of that. This is a reflection, and so our journey to justice will continue. We will continue our work in Englewood. We will continue our partnerships in Iman. And I hope everyone is just fired up to really walk our streets and take back our streets here in our communities.
Give it up for Sister Aisha from RAGE. I'm going to ask that some of our diverse clergy, Reverend Alice Hunt from the Chicago Theological Seminary, please give it up. Father Tony, Imam, some of our clergy that is here with us. And I'm going to ask that Father Tony Pizzo, a great leader in this community with Santa Rita Church, say something with us on behalf of the clergy that are gathered here today as we open and reflect in prayer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Muy buenos días a todos.
Buenos días.
God gave us an incredible day.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. We have the sunshine.
Yes.
We have the diversity.
Yes.
We've got the energy and the enthusiasm. And you know what? I love that word, enthusiasm. You know what that word means? It means to be filled with God. To be enthused means to be filled with God. And here we are, right? We're filled with all kinds of enthusiasm. I'm here with my colleagues, my brothers and sisters, clergymen, and women.
And women!
And
Don't forget
women.
the women!
As you can see, faith traditions, no matter where we come from, no matter where we are right now, it's all about equality. It's all about recognizing that each and every one of us have got gifts and talents to share. For us to be able to somehow, some way, bring all kinds of people together as we have today with this purpose of recognizing the face of God in one another.
Yes.
Let's see the face of God in one another. Look around you right now, just for a moment. Just look around, look around. You can see the face of God.
Why aren't you up there?
And so we thank God for this. And so we pray that the Lord give us grateful hearts and generous hands as we continue this journey of justice together. God bless all of us. Que Dios nos bendiga a todos nosotros. Porque aquí estamos unidos en el nombre de Dios, en el nombre de nuestras tradiciones de fe. Gracias a Dios por todo.
Good to see you.
Okay, thank you, Father Tony. We want to recognize one of our youth and hear his art. So we're gonna hear from Laurent. Please welcome, come on, give it up for Laurent, guys.
How's everybody feeling today? I need it louder. How everybody feeling today? Beautiful, beautiful. I'm Chicago's very own famous Inky. I'm representing I-Man today. I'm here with Father Flagler and Reverend Jesse Jackson. We finna have a good time. Say, we gonna be all right.
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 I say, we gonna be all right.
We gonna be all right.
All I'm I'm hearing is, raise him to be a thug. When the police kill him, then it's always Black Lives Matter. Marching when a white man kill us, but we kill each other like a life don't matter. It's time for the stereotype. Black man all alike trying to rap on the mic. Easy to shoot a life, but it's harder to fight. Black, white, human right, up, down, left, right. See, I see my friend's brains on the concrete, hole in his head, blood covering the cold street. Police was trying to get multiple statements like a worksheet. Me, at the age I'm at, my heart beating like an athlete. Your foot gonna need fast feet trying to race a track meet. They failed to do missions, obligated like a deadbeat. We never had your silver spoon living. This that Malcolm X and King know they finna die feeling. They drilling and steady killing, leaving and never leading. Get the pledge of allegiance, that's reason for making demons. Plotting while steady scheming, Morgan Freeman while speaking. They telling me I'm saving music, agreement and need my treatment. Hold it up, Chicago. Hold it up. Hold it up. We want strong males in these tough shoes. We've been misused, but we refuse just to be accused for the world news, and the world knew without you two. Don't get me started. I love y'all. I love y'all. Say we gon' be alright.
We gon' be alright.
What we gon' do? We gon' be alright. What? We gon' be alright. Huh?
We gon' be alright.
Sing it.
We gon' be alright.
Oh man.
We gon' be alright.
Swag.
We gon' be
There you
alright.
go.
We gon' be
Yes,
alright.
we are. Let's go.
Good morning. Today's Southwest side is here, and look at it. The journey for justice continues. Whether it's immigration, the fight for access to full participation in citizenship, whether it's an end to deportation for our Latino brothers and sisters, for our Palestinian brothers and sisters, whether it's the opportunity to live well in your neighborhood and not have to find vacant, abandoned properties. It's a day for us to look around and connect with each other. Last night, I heard story after story about the relationships that are built through days like today. Let's make that happen.
Sigue la energía. Vamos a presentar. We're going to continue. We are going to bring now Imam Omar to address us.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. All right. Look, let me just open up by saying this here. My wife is doing ancestry. Yes. So she asked me to do my DNA and send my DNA in by ancestry. Yes. When my DNA came back, I was shocked to find out that I was 60% Irish. I said, wait a second. I said, as black as I am, I'm Irish. What the heck is that? Then I found out that I was part of other communities. And I found out that I was only 20% black. Wait a second, what's up with that? What is that telling us? Dear people, that we are one people. We are one community. If you close your eyes and you look at each other, you won't see black, you won't see white, you won't see anything, you'll see humanity. So we have to see one humanity and where we have came from that travel from those dark times in America to where we are right now. Now our children can go to MIT. Now they can go to different colleges and universities. The forces that we're fighting right now is immorality. Those are the forces we're fighting now. So fight for your family. Fight for your children. Fight for your community. And let's continue
anybody had in doing wrong to anybody. Thank you very much. Peace.
All right, well, let's give it up for all our brothers and sisters once again. Give it up for Trinity United Church of Christ in the house. West side of Chicago in the house, make some noise. Now I want to hear a thunderous applause for the south side. Make some noise. Come on. All right, say the journey to justice continues. Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here 50 years after the spot. Just around the corner was a place called Havelston Realtors. It was a target for the marchers 50 years ago because they were part of the system that locked black families out of neighborhoods, that perpetuated residential segregation, redlining. Today, our targets are not just one storefront realtor. Our targets are those policies and systems and structures that continue to keep our communities down. But we are here to say the journey continues.